than we are producers. We know more about LeBron's stats than we know about our own stats. We know more about what's going on in sports than we know about what's going on. Like in this season, I tell people this blinder season. Like I don't know, I've been to the Kentucky Derby. Every horse that races, they got something called blinders, one on the left, one on the right, so they can't see what's going on to the left or the right of them. If everybody start focusing on your own race and what's on front and what's in front of you, everything could change in a short period of time.
More than 90% of businesses won't make it past 5 years.
Yeah.
What's the most common mistake you see business owners make that prevents them from scaling and having that longevity?
I would say lack of marketing, right? I tell people all the time, you're extremely good at what you do, but no one knows what you do. If you are the best at this and no one knows, you're going to go out of business. So you need to be spending as much money as you can on marketing and getting yourself out here so everyone knows you exist.
Would you say that if you lost it all, you can make it all back?
100%, because I got the mindset now and I got the skill sets.
How old are you now?
36 years old.
36.
Yeah.
If you were to go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, when you were starting from zero, what's the best advice that you would give to your younger self?
The best advice I would say is the biggest way to kill a big dream is to introduce it to a small mind. Be very guard who you share your goals and dreams with, because mind you got your mom, you got your dad, you got family, they love you. So they only going to give you advice to not hurt you. That makes you feel good, right? You need to go get advice from people who are already crushing it, people already at high level. You want to become a millionaire, you don't ask someone who's not it. You want to start a business, you don't ask your coworker. Like, how much sense does it make to say, y'all want to go start a business, you go into your job and say, hey, I'm thinking about starting a business, you think I should do it? The answer will always be no. Why? Because they're at a place where they don't want to commit to a business. They don't want to commit to trying anything new. So the biggest thing I could tell anybody is if you want to become successful, learn from someone who's already there in the industry that they're in that you want to learn about.
You got phenomenal advice, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks so much.
So we caught my guy getting out of the Lamborghini, heading into Dior, and he went from being broke to creating an 8-figure marketing agency that did over $10 million this past year. And what did he say? The fastest way to kill a big dream is to tell it to a small mind. Great interview from a real legend. He just dropped some phenomenal advice. But with that being said, let's go get this next interview. Excuse me, sir. Question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
Have you ever what?
Have you ever been broke before?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living out in Atlanta?
Commercial real estate development,
How long have you been in the business for?
25 years.
Now, people think you have to have a lot of money to get started out in real estate. Would you agree with that? Or like what's that first move someone can make without a ton of money in real estate?
Yeah, unfortunately, real estate's expensive.
Yeah?
You do need some money.
What was the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
A couple $100 million.
A couple $100 million.
Yeah.
How did you scale from 8 to 9 figures, right? A lot of entrepreneurs, they start a business, they have a great
Sure.
idea, they struggle to scale and grow. What was your secret to scaling?
Look, if you go back and look at all the businesses that are really successful out there, a lot of it has to do with timing.
Have you ever met a billionaire before?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah?
Unfortunately.
What do you notice consistently among billionaires? And not even just billionaires.
They're
but
not as smart as you think.
What do you mean by that?
Everybody thinks because you have $1 billion that makes you smart. What I mean by that is a lot of people get lucky. It's not so much being a billionaire that matters. It's like, you know the difference between values and beliefs?
What's that?
Beliefs are what you think is true. Values are what you think are important. Understanding your beliefs and then understanding your values. Like, what do you believe in? What do you think is important? Focus on the things that are important.
What is the secret to being able to raise capital, right? In a competitive industry like real estate and entrepreneurship in general, in terms of raising capital, any advice to people out there? Maybe it's for a development, for a project.
What I think will shock most people, not wealthy people or some of the people you just named, is right now there is more money out there in the world looking for a good business plan than the inverse. There are not as many good business plans as what you think. And the people who have capital, they can look at a business plan quickly and tell, just like, watching Shark Tank, right? They know what does and doesn't make sense. They understand margins, they understand cost structures, they understand when somebody doesn't know the details. So raising capital is you got to start with like a really good business plan that has a legitimate pathway to growth. You have to be able to show why this is going to be worth the effort. Why is this money going to come back with a return that makes sense for the person investing in?
How old are you now?
I'm about to turn 56.
56.
Yeah.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
55 and a half.
55
no,
and a half.
I'm kidding. I have no idea because I don't really track that stuff. It just isn't that important to me.
Right.
But I'll tell you this much. I've been happy for 40 years, and that's a hell of a lot more important to me. Yeah.
I love that. What is the secret to finding that happiness, right? That inner peace inside, right? Because like you
gotta, that's a really good question. I mean, that in itself is, there's another saying that says, like, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life. Well, when I went through that transition, I realized I'd fell into that restaurant job, and I was very successful at it, and I was like, what did I learn from it? I learned how to manage resources, people, time, money, expectation, and I was really good at it. And then I was like, okay, so I understand how to manage resources. So what is it that I want to do where I can take that skill set and go do that? And what I decided was real estate development. And I enjoyed every minute of it. And I look back on it and it just feel good about it because it was something I really enjoyed and I was doing it with really smart, capable people. But like, you gotta figure out like what makes you happy. And some people it's golfing every day. Some people it's like sitting out on their porch on a piece of property where they don't have to see, hear, or know that anybody else exists for 10 miles away. I mean, it's different for everybody. Focus on that and the rest is good.
Yeah, thank you so much
What's
for your
your
time,
name?
James Dumlin, sir. So we walked up on a 9-figure commercial real estate developer out here in Atlanta, and that interview just goes to show there is endless amounts of capital and money circulating in the entire world. You just have to come up with the right ideas that people are willing to back and get behind, and you can create something amazing. Phenomenal interview, man. Let's go get this next one. All right, you guys, this is one of the craziest houses I've ever seen in my entire life. We're gonna go up to it and see what they were able to do to be able to afford this place out here in Atlanta. Let's go see what they have to say.
Please wait while your call is connected.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, question for you, sir. I started a channel in Austin, Texas that I grew to 4 million followers.
Let's see what's going on, family. What's going on, guys? What is up? Hopefully you guys are having a phenomenal morning. It is your boy Abel checking in one time. And yeah, let's get right to this, family. I was watching this video. Let's see what we got here. Rat no amu. This is garbage, no trading at all. Well, you just tuned in, my brother. If you want some trading, then, you know, stay here long enough and you'll get it. If you don't stay here long enough, then by all means, go to another channel. Trust me, I ain't going beg for you. I promise you that much. Let me get this thing right real quick, family.
What was the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Let me see what we got here.
Is 15 million.
He said, this is garbage, no trading at all. Yeah, shut your butt up. What's going on, family? What is up, man? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, it is your boy Abel, as usual, back with another session, back ready to go ahead and just take a quick look at these markets, see what they got for us today, see what opportunities are out there. It is Friday, obviously the last day of the trading week. So we'll see if there is anything. Obviously, there's a lot of tension right now in the world. Israel just sent rockets last night to Iran. So obviously the markets could be extremely volatile today because of that. In fact, we actually seen a little decent reaction last night out of gold on the news that missiles were, you know, launched, which ultimately ended up getting completely erased. All right, which is interesting, you know. So we'll see. You know, we'll see how we are able to fare throughout today's session. See what the market can go ahead and again produce for us. If there's any opportunities that we can go ahead and take advantage of, then that's exactly what we're gonna do. If there's nothing, obviously, that we there's nothing that we can find, and you know, it is what it is. It'll be another chill day where we just, you know, vibe out and see what we can get. Give me a couple seconds, family. I'll turn on my camera in a second as well. Let me see what we got here. Give me 1 second. Wait a minute. Let's see. What's going on, Cam? Good to see you, sis. Oh, in the building. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. Let's see, Christian in the building. What's the word? Drew. Hey, yo, Drew, bro. You didn't even have to delete his message, bro. You know, we like to leave those messages out there, bro. We don't gotta delete those. We delete the ones that are a little too vulgar. Yeah, but those ones, nah, man. Let those comments rock. We good over here. Trust me. But let's see what else we got here. Christian in the building. What's the word? Sam, Devin, what's the word? Good morning, family. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and smash that like button one time for your boy, so we can go ahead and get this video out to more people, man. Again, we need to go ahead and let people know that we are live and we're here ready to do our thizzle. This is going to be another dope session today, man. It's going to be a very dope session. Obviously, you know, like I said, if we find some opportunities to take advantage of, we'll take them. If not, then it is what it is. All right, we'll just be vibing out. He said, we just started and got you. Yeah, who cares, bro? Let people talk. You know, this is that's the thing about YouTube, right? It is a public forum. You know, and because it's a public forum, everybody has the freedom of speech. Everybody can go ahead and talk their shit if they want. You know me, I don't shy away from people talking their stuff. You know, I actually encourage it. Why? Because it helps out the algorithm regardless, right? Whether you make a positive comment or a negative one, YouTube gonna take it in consideration and push me out to more people. So I appreciate every comment, whether it's a positive or a negative one, no matter what. But let's see what we got here, though, family, man. Like I said, we are going to see what the markets produce today. Let me take a quick look at the news, make sure there's nothing too crazy for today, which I don't think there is. Yeah, we don't got nothing too crazy. We did have some pound news that came out last night. Retail sales data ended up coming out. But that's going to influence the pound itself. We could take a look at the pound, see how the markets reacted to that data, to that news event. This came out at 2 a.m., so right before London session. ended up coming out. We see this initial spike here, right? Retail sales came out, ended up bringing some strength here for the pound. Is this something that I think can continue to go? Possibly. Again, I've been very bearish, the pound itself, but I do believe there is a chance that we might see a deeper correction to the upside here. But either way, I think downside is really the path here, right? But again, we'll see. We'll see. There is a chance that we do give a little bit of a deeper pullback, maybe off of that news. We do see a little bit of strength. But either way, I think I would prefer to go ahead and like to short the hell out of this, right? Possibly up here around 1.2520. If we can get up into this 1.2520 level, I'll be interested to see how we can react there, right? It's either we're going to go here, take out this lone candle, react within this little redistribution area, and then from there, go ahead and roll over back to the downside. Now, I get it. We do have a lot of inefficiencies, a lot of imbalances a little bit higher that, the market might want to go ahead and target. And if it does, then again, we'll see how, it is what it is, right? We'll go ahead and take advantage of it if it happens, and we'll see what the markets produce for us. But let's see what else we got here, though. Good to see you, Abel. I appreciate you as well. Good to see you on the building. Arturo in the house. AG. I see you, Arturo. What's the word? Appreciate you for tuning in. Kev in the house as well. What's the word, Kev? Good to see you. Let's see. I'm going to keep it clean because I'm the laundromat. I hear you, all. All right, we got Eric in the building. FTP, stand up. Yeah, that's dumb funny, Eric. I swear I'm always going to say that every time I see you, bro, just because that's hilarious. FTP, stand up. Mr. FTP himself in the building for the population, for the community, F the police, whatever abbreviation you want to go with. Y'all leader is Mr. Eric over here. Shout out to Eric. All right, but let's see what we continue to got here, family. We don't have no crazy news today. We do have the markets are truly opening up in about 22 minutes or so, right? The stock market itself. So we will see an influx of volatility, an influx of volume from 9:30 to 10. Which is really like my kill zone. My kill zone has really been anywhere from like 9:30 to like 11 lately, right? That's really when I've been finding most of my opportunities. So we're going to see if today's another opportunity for that to happen. Right now, yesterday was very interesting. All right, yesterday was very interesting. The market did absolutely nothing yesterday in terms of the dollar itself, or not the dollar, but in terms of gold. We ended up taking some opportunities yesterday for buys here. The market itself ended up liquidating me. I ended up taking an L right here on this. Was it on this sell-off? No, I ended up taking an L on this sell-off right here. Actually, I took an L on this sell-off, and I took an L on this sell-off, to be honest. I've been trying to just catch the buy here, right? And it's unfortunate, but the actual buy happened, at the wrong time, right? So, but it's just dealing with these type of markets, family, right? Gold has been range-bound this entire week, right? Going absolutely sideways, doing a whole load of nothing, right? And it ended up stopping me out a couple times this week, so I've been having a very tough week with gold, but that doesn't change my bias. I do believe we are still long-term bullish, especially with everything that's happening right now, especially with these wars that are boiling up. Like, we're really closer to World War III than we've ever been, right? And that's just a fact. It's not me trying to fear monger. That's just a fact, right? Like, we have countless wars and countless fights happening right now in real time, right? And last night, the big news, Israel decided to respond back to Iran, sending some missiles towards them, which is a big reason why gold ended up spiking up the way that it did. What is interesting here, though, right, is we had this crazy spike, but I mean, it essentially got erased pretty quickly, right? So again, I am still favoring the upside here for gold, but we do have to be a little bit more patient with this, right? Because there is an opportunity for this now to actually roll over, especially just seeing how we reacted yesterday. Just this type of price action itself is very telling, so there is a chance that it does roll over to the downside, but I am still favoring upside personally. If we don't get the signals that I look for upside price action, then cool, we might have to just settle for maybe a sell, right? And if we do sell off, I'm a big fan of looking for a possible wick fill down here at these lows. If the market does decide to roll over, then cool. This could be an opportunity that we take, and we can roll, go ahead and target down towards here, to see how we, to see if we can get down there. And if we can get down there, then guess what? All right, we can take advantage of that. So we'll see, guys, how the markets produce for us, what they end up, giving us today throughout this session. But besides that, though, family, man, how you guys feeling in the chat, y'all? What opportunities are you guys in? FTP for the profit. There we go. That's the real slogan right there, bro. For the profit. Come on now. That's the one. You need to get that trademark. FTP for the profit. That's actually pretty fire. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, let's see what we got here. My brother Matt. Oh, I gotta give you your man. Could we please get a round of applause for Matt real quick? Cause that boy been crushing it. That boy been crushing it, bro. Listen, when I see people doing good, when I see people crushing it, man, I'm a big fan of celebrating others. All right, I've never been a hater in my entire life. I'm a big fan of showing love when it's due. You know, celebrating people to give them more encouragement, give them more excitement. You know, because that's one thing that we lack in this community, family. Could we be honest here as traders? The one thing that we lack as a community, right, is the ability to celebrate others' success. Right? Am I tripping here, family? Let me know. Right? Am I the only one that feels that way? Like, as a community, the thing that we lack as traders is the ability to celebrate others. Because everybody's trying to compete. Everybody has an ego for whatever reason, man. I can't stand that. I'm going to celebrate you. I'm going to celebrate everybody that I see winning, that I see putting in the work, and that I see actually making moves, right? So big celebrate to you, Matt. Appreciate you, my brother, for being locked in and being essentially rocking with me and the team for over a year now, bro. No cap. So again, big celebrations to you. Big celebrations to everybody in the building, family that's been crushing it. Absolutely, right? But let's see what else we got here, though. And family, you guys will be proud of me too today. All right, you guys will be proud of me, right? Obviously, I did get my Starbucks as usual. It is what it is, right? You know, you guys know I'm a Starbucks fiend. Spending a couple $100 on Starbucks a week is probably not the smartest thing to do, but it is what it is. But either way, you guys will be proud of me. I didn't get my coffee this time. My caramel ribbon crunch that's super, super sugary and caramelly and has me wired through the roof. Is there caffeine in these? These strawberry acai thingies? There ain't no caffeine in these, right? I ended up getting a strawberry refresher. This is elite. This is elite. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be, before I started getting stuck on the coffees, on the caramel ribbon crunches that I was getting, like I was literally getting one of these every single day. And I realized, man, I need to start going back to these, because that coffee used to have me too wired, right? After the live trading sessions that we would do every morning, I would have to get off, go to the bathroom, take the longest piss in the world, and then just be wired. So hopefully this, which it tastes extremely good, can actually produce me, or at least not have me going insane. All right, so if you guys want a drink of the day, your drink of the day is a strawberry refresher. But when you go to Starbucks and you ask for a strawberry refresher, make sure you tell them to give it to you with lemonade and not water. Right? The lemonade substitution for water enhances this thing to a whole nother level. All right, so big shout out to all you guys that are going to listen and go grab one of those, man. So these things go crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. All right, let's see. It's a competition to a lot of people. It is. You know, again, competition is healthy, in a sense. But when that competition is more so driven by ego and envy, that's when it becomes dangerous, right? Like I compete myself, right? But it's never from a standpoint of me being envious of other people, right? Or me having ego towards other people. Like, nah, man, I'm just a competitive person. Like, if you really know me in real life, I'll compete against you with anything. Like, even if it's tying a damn shoe, like, I promise you I could tie my shoe faster, right? But again, it's never from a negative mindset or a negative spirit. You know, so competition is healthy as long as it's coming from the right place. Absolutely. All right, but let's see. And not gonna lie, I want the FTP to be the slogan for my shop when I open it up one day for the performance. Listen, bro, it's already done. It's already done, bro. It's already done. All right, so let's see. That's the only thing I get from Starbucks. You know, these things go crazy. But again, family, quick update. Like I said, man, I am interested in gold. Obviously, I was bullish yesterday. Ended up taking a small loss. Honestly, on both of these pushes down, they both ended up taking me out this week. Took a loss here, took a loss here. And the market just ended up eventually giving the move that I initially wanted. All right, it was driven by news. You know, it was driven by headlines, but it is what it is. And I still kind of like the upside, but I am kind of a little bit more skeptical of us going bullish. And I'm skeptical because of how price reacted after this bullishness move. Like, we had this is a lot of momentum. Right, we're talking about a big move. It's like 300-400 pips to the upside. that got completely erased. Right, so that's a little concerning. But gold typically does do that, right? Every time gold usually has like a massive move, it usually corrects pretty aggressively. But I don't know if this is the same, right? Again, this market really might just continue to roll over to the downside here, right? Especially just seeing how we've been reacting so far. And if that's what happens, then so be it, right? We're seeing some weakness right now, and that's cool. I'm not going to be in a rush to get in, because if we do go ahead and break these lows, depending on how we react, we might just push back up, give us an opportunity to go ahead and continue to short, or we push back up, completely break this high right here at 2384, and if we take out that high, then at that point I will be back bullish, and I will be targeting back up to the upside. All right, so yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what we get here. Let's see. That's crazy. I can tie my shoe faster. Oh, joke's on you. I wear boots with no laces. You wear boots with steel toe boots, huh? You got them steel toe boots, my boy? I remember when I used to work at a warehouse, that's what I used to have to wear. Them steel toe boots, man. Let's see, ready for the Bitcoin halving today? Absolutely. I actually got my countdown up already. I ain't playing games with this, man. We counting down, baby. This is like a national holiday for Bitcoin enthusiasts right here. All right, so absolutely, family, we are literally 71 blocks away from the Bitcoin halving. It is expected to occur right now, right before 9 p.m. Eastern. Right, I'm gonna watch this live. I feel like this is gonna be pretty cool, right, to actually see occur in real time. Now again, it's not like something we'll be able to see. Like, we'll be able to see this, go from block 8392 to then block 000001 again. But besides that, yeah, this is gonna be very cool to see how the markets react to this. In terms of Bitcoin, now that we do have the halving approaching, I think it's going to be more of a sell the news type of play here, though, right? Because everybody understands the halving is today. It's being, spread around social media like crazy. It's going to be, in mainstream media. It's going to be everywhere, right? That the halving is going to happen again today. So as traders, we should be aware of the fact, right, that when it's news that's this hyped up, everybody's going to start aping into these markets. And more times than not, we actually see a sell-off occur, right, to go ahead and liquidate everybody that's jumping in so soon. And then from that point, then we could probably go ahead and start to see this thing absolutely go crazy, right? So again, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe, we do see one of those sell the news type of events here on the actual halving itself. Now again, if it doesn't and this thing just flies, shit, I'm already invested, right? I already got a ton of exposure, so I wouldn't be upset if we fly, and I wouldn't be upset if we fall. I kind of hope that we fall, though, just so that we can go ahead and take out all this liquidity below these lows. I feel like we just have a ton of positions that need to be liquidated before we see like the big move. So that would be like that's what I would prefer to see, would be that, a sell off first and then go ahead and give us the big move. But we don't control what the market ends up doing, right? So but I think that's what's going to happen, right? I truly believe that we are going to see that occur, where we just fall off on the news. Everybody's going to start to panic, like, oh no, the halving was a fluke, it didn't do anything, why are we falling? And then once they lose all their positions and they get liquidated or they sell, there's going to be people like me that are going to be ready to buy some more, right? So I'm just saying, right? So again, family, if you guys are invested into crypto right now, if you guys are invested into Bitcoin, don't be crazy, right? Don't be crazy. If you're holding already, you might as well continue to hold, right? If this thing sells off and now you're down on your investment because you entered anywhere within this range right here, then yeah, the best thing to do is just continue to hold, right? You don't want to sell. That's what the rookies are going to do, right? The novice are going to sell right before the major news happens, and that's just not how we operate, right? We want to make sure that we are getting out when it makes the most sense. We don't want to sell while we're down. Like, we sell when we're up, when we're in profit, not when we're down, right? And that's why it's so important, guys, to use capital that you're okay with sitting on, right? That's why you never use money that you need back right away. Imagine the people that put some money in Bitcoin up at these highs because they see it going crazy. Everybody's saying, oh man, we're above 70K, and now they're down 15, 20, 30%. Yeah, they're probably selling, right? They probably ended up selling. Especially the ones that, are playing with money that they need back right away. Like, now they ended up taking a loss, and that's a cycle that most new retail investors typically go through, right? So again, if you are in trades, if you are in Bitcoin, and you're down right now, just hold, right? It makes no sense to try to sell unless you absolutely need it. I get it. but you're truly going to be upset that you actually sold if you did in the next month or two. Okay. All right, so let's see what else we got here in the chat. Trying to trade last night. Okay. Nas sells. Yeah, let's take a look at NASDAQ real quick. Let's take a look at these markets, family. All right, so the NASDAQ is very interesting, right? Obviously, indices as a whole has really been falling off pretty aggressively this past couple weeks. And there could be a lot of reasons why we've been selling off, right? Obviously, the tensions. We can talk inflation all day long, right? We understand inflation is still very sticky. We understand that the Fed is still planning on keeping interest rates pretty elevated for a prolonged period of time. I would be surprised if we actually get more than 2 rate cuts this year. I would be surprised at this point if we get 2 rate cuts. I think we're probably only going to do maybe 1 rate cut this year, depending on obviously how the data comes out. So that is obviously going to weigh into these markets. But I think the biggest thing that's also influencing indices is also just these tensions that are happening in the Middle East, right? Everything that's occurring in the Middle East, family, is going to have an effect on every financial market in the world, because it's essentially going to have to involve multiple different players, right? Obviously, the U.S. is right now starting to back Israel. So again, anything that happens between Israel and Iran is going to affect us in the States. It's going to affect our financial markets as well, right? So we have to be aware of that. But I say all that to say, the fact this thing has been selling off pretty aggressively. There is a chance that this thing continues to sell off, but there's also a chance that we rebound. Now, with everything that's occurring, especially with these missiles being launched, yeah, there's a chance that I think we could potentially continue to fall off. But also looking at price action as well, like we did just take out a pretty interesting low, right? We had this low right here, guys, that was created right after this push up, formed this support, and ever since then we just continued to rise. This is like our first retest back into this area that left a whole bunch of imbalances behind. We clearly had a lot of buying pressure at this level. So now we have come back into this range that has been an area that has proven to have a lot of buying pressure from. So is it a possibility, though, even though we have been selling off, even though we have all these tensions in the Middle East, even though we are dealing with still sticky inflation, is there a possibility for this to just rebound and say screw all that? Hey, man, listen, these markets have been extremely resilient, right? Our stock market here in the US, guys, has literally proven almost everybody wrong with how resilient it has been, right? With all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the space, these markets just continue to make all-time highs, right? So it's very hard to really say what can actually happen and try to use things like the war and stuff as an indicator, because these markets are just so unpredictable at this point, right? Like even analysts, right? Because again, I do a lot of research, family, right? That's one thing that I love to do, is just doing research, listening to people that have been in this space for years, decades, and get their opinions on these markets, right? From what I've been seeing, everybody is truly confused on like what the hell is truly happening in this space, right? Or why the markets are reacting the way, that they're reacting, right? Like it's actually pretty crazy how resilient these markets have been, even in the face of all this, chaos in the world, right? So I'm kind of stuck between a hard place. I could see us continuing to drop just because of all the stuff that's going on, but I also know that the market has not give 2 shits about that stuff, so there is a chance for this to actually rebound. And if we are going to rebound, right, I mean, this would be an interesting level to probably rebound from, right? We did just take out these lows right here, tapped into a little bit of an imbalance. We are starting to see, obviously, a little wick rejection here to the upside. So there is a chance that this could start to go up. But for now, I'm still favoring the downside for now, right? Because I'm sticking with what the market is currently showing me, right? And the market itself is still very much creating these lower lows and these lower highs. So I think there is another chance for, at the very least, we come back down and test these lows at the very least, right? And then once we test these lows, then we can see if we're going to continue to break it and go lower, or if we're going to play off of this last sell down candle. And then from there, probably start to see the market give a little bit of a reaction to the upside, right? So, there's a few things that we can keep our eyes on here for indices overall. But I think the NASDAQ does eventually come back within this range down here. And how we react below this low or around this low can be very telling. If we are going to go back bullish, right? If we are going to go back bullish for indices, then I could see us really start to, fill or create a range down here, right? Where we're starting to really build up more orders, accumulate more orders, to then ultimately give us that big push to the upside if we're going to do that, right? So that's where we stand with that. I'm favoring downside here just because that's really what we've been looking at, what we've been pretty much reacting from. You know, the market is reacting also from a previous level of structure right now, giving us a little push lower. In order for me to actually sell, though, I would want us to go ahead and truly either play off of the highs like we just reacted from those highs, or we can keep our eye on this level of support right here, right at the 17,336. And then from there, we can go ahead and on a break of that, then I believe we can go ahead and start to see this thing come right back down, right? But if we stay below this level, or if we stay above this level right here, then obviously we have to assume there's possibly another push at least back up to these highs. But on the break back below, I would be a big fan of looking for some continuations to the downside here for the NASDAQ itself. I think that is very, very likely to occur if that happens. Okay, so that's just my quick thought on the NASDAQ itself, right? I would want to see us get below here before I look for any sells. Below the 17,330s, I think that's very, very good. That would be cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. You guys are talking about the boots. He said gotta wear those Iron Age boots. I never even heard of those. Let's see. And Abel, with all the war drama going on, does that make you think we could be in some kind of bubble? It's possible. I mean, there's been talks about bubble for the past year now with the way these markets been going. Right? A lot of analysts understand that eventually we are going to go through a deeper correction here. At least they think, right? It's not 100% certain, right? But they believe that we could experience a bigger sell-off sometime soon because, I mean, we're still very inflated, right? Like our economy is inflated, our stock market is inflated, and everything is inflated while have interest rates still very high, which kind of defeats the purpose of them raising interest rates, right? They raise interest rates to try to slow down our economy. Like that's the point of, that's what the Federal Reserve wanted to do, right? They started to, use monetary policy in the form of interest rates to try to slow down our economy to help the fight of inflation. And when they first did it, we did see a little slowdown, right? I mean, we've seen inflation go from 8% down to 3-4% now. But the crazy thing is, inflation has cooled that drastically while the market's still running. It's interesting, right? So again, these markets are very, very interesting to say the least, man, with everything going on. But it's one of those situations where what we're going through right now, in my opinion, right, what we went through from COVID to now, is gonna go down in the history books, right? Just like how we talk about the things that happened in the 70s when inflation went to like 12-15% or something like that, right? Like analysts still talk about that today, right? And it happened in the 70s, right? Like 50 years ago, right? What happened in the .com bubble, what happened in the real estate bubble, right? Those are still things that are talked about today when it comes to these financial markets. So I believe what we're going through with COVID up to now with dealing with inflation will be one of those things that go down in history. And it will be a talking point for the next 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, right? Just because, again, we are seeing some very interesting things here, in these markets for sure, right? So, yeah. All right, so is it a bubble? Is it possible, right? But again, these markets have been just so resilient, bro. Like, these markets just don't give two shits about none of that, right? But family, the markets did just open up. It is 9:30 here. The stock market has just officially opened. So let's see what the markets do produce for us here. Again, if I'm looking for shorts on NASDAQ, I would need to see us truly get below the 1730 level. I would be a big fan of that. And then we could start to go ahead and target maybe towards 17256, maybe even towards 17200s, and then possibly, once again, like I said, come and test these lows ultimately, right? Now, if we go ahead and just bounce off this support, right, because we are testing a support right now, if we bounce off of this support and start to go bullish and we break the highs, then I believe at that point we might actually go ahead and start to target up towards the 17500s, and then also possibly even back up to the 17600s, right? So that's how I'm playing these markets, family, from the indice perspective, at least the NASDAQ, to see what we can get. As of right now, we are starting to break lower. Let me see what the other ones are doing. US 30 ended up spiking up right before the open here. Let's see if that is actually going to come back down. The S&P as well is starting to make its way lower a little bit. Again, these little initial pushes, I don't get too antsy on. I typically like to let the first 5-minute candles play out on the open, just because there could be a lot of nonsense that occurs, right? There could be a lot of whiplashing on this first 5 minutes, just because now the market has opened up. A ton of money is starting to now move around in these markets. So, first 5 minutes I typically let play out, and then we can go ahead and see how the markets are after that. But let's see what we got here. How about I re-entered SPX for a sell at 5,009 this morning? You entered it for a sell at 5,009. If you entered it for a sell this morning, my brother, then yeah, you're currently seeing a little bit of drawdown. Right, you're currently seeing a little bit of drawdown. Oh, but it's all good. Right, hopefully that can continue to drop. Again, I won't be confident in the sell unless we actually get below this key level. Right, if we can close below this key level, then I'll be a lot more confident in that sell. But as long as we stay above this key level, then there's that chance that we just continue going higher. Just keep that in mind. Let's see. So like a recession is possible. All right, a recession is possible, right? Especially if interest rates remain sticky the way that they have been, then the Fed is going to be forced to have to probably raise rates once again to try to really, slow down inflation from getting out of getting carried away. And if the Fed has to raise interest rates again, which is not on the table as of right now, right? But if they were to be in a situation where they had to raise interest rates because inflation is just starting to rise again aggressively, then that's when signs of a recession is going to happen, right? That's when everybody's going to be concerned. That's when the Fed is going to start to talk about possibility of a recession. And then at that point, all the work that we've done for the past 2 years is thrown out the window, right? And that's going to cause a shit ton of fear in these markets. If the Fed has to pivot, family, and if they have to start raising rates again, you got to understand how the markets are going to react, right? The dollar is going to be king once again. Indices are probably going to fall at that point, right? Foreign currencies are probably going to fall, like the euro, the Aussie, the pound. They're all probably going to fall if the Fed had to do a U-turn and say, nope, I'm sorry, we were wrong. Inflation is still very much here. We have to go ahead and start to raise rates again to keep it under control. If they ever said that, then yeah, the markets are going to go crazy. The dollar is going to really dominate, and so on and so forth for sure, family, right? So that's very interesting. Very, very interesting to say the least. Now that we got that out the way, let's see what we got here, guys, for gold. Again, gold is like my primary thing I've been trading for the past couple weeks now. And let's see, man. Again, I want the upside just because I am very bullish. But if the market is just not prepared to go bullish, then we're going to take advantage of the sells instead. Okay, we're going to try to stay, I don't want to say neutral because I have my bias and I want to stick with it. But I'm also going to play price action. Right? I don't want my longer term vision to cloud my intraday perspectives or what the intraday is telling me, right? That's a bar, right? It's one thing, guys, having a longer term perspective of these markets, right? That's nothing wrong with that, having a longer term perspective, right? But allowing your longer term vision to cloud what the markets are currently telling you, see, that can get very dangerous, right? That can get extremely dangerous. And that's what I don't want to actually happen, right? Where everything that's happening is essentially just clouding our judgment, right? Or at least our long-term vision is clouding our judgment on what the market is currently saying. Okay? So, yeah. Let's see what we get here. Dollar crazy bullish. Yeah, the dollar would be insanely bullish if they had to pivot like that. Well, let's see what we get here, family. As of right now, man, gold is trying to push back to the upside here. All right, again, I'm not opposed to any of these moves. I'm a big fan of the upside. All right, I do want to see bullishness here for gold. In fact, I think we probably could have even taken a stab here. But I want to see how we react if we're able to break out of this range. Right, because right now we're kind of stuck within this little range where we've been in for the past couple hours or so. If we're able to truly break above this and hold and sustain that level, then I think we do see more upside here on gold. And then at that point, again, I would like to see us truly go ahead and start to go much higher. Like, I'm obviously going to be targeting this high as like our first level of targets. Then obviously, hopefully seeing we can go all the way back up to the highs. I'm bullish, man. Like, there's no way you can't tell me looking at this chart, right, that we are not bullish. Now, I get it. We have been in a period right now where the market could just be building up a ton of liquidity. or we could be going through a period of correction. If you're, if you're expecting bears to come through, then this will probably be looking like a big correction for you right now. But I think again, I'm leaning towards buys just because I think fundamentally we're bullish. But we're going to see what the markets present for us. All right, let's see what we got here. 15-minute engulfing too. Yeah, 15-minute engulfing right here off of the support, supported by volume. That's all pretty cool as well. So we'll see. We'll see what the markets give us. Again, as of right now, family, I am sitting on my hands. I'm not in any positions whatsoever. So yeah, we're gonna watch this stuff together and see if there's something we can take advantage of. We're gonna watch it and see if we can take advantage of it for sure. But as of right now, this thing looks like it might want to continue bullish. Let's see. You think that would have more impact on currencies compared to commodities? That's a good question. I believe it's going to impact all of it for sure. I don't know if one's going to hold more weight than the other, because I think they're both going to go hand in hand. Because again, just think about it, right? Just looking at things from a risk on, risk off aspect, right? If we're dealing with fears of a recession, fears of a war, like, are you comfortable with investing into indices or commodities, or would you rather invest into, something stable like the US dollar? Right now, again, gold itself is a different player. Gold also benefits from wars, right? Gold is very attractive during wars. In fact, gold has been extremely bullish, fam. Like, if you really look into the data on this stuff, you would notice that there's patterns, right? Gold has been extremely bullish for the past few weeks, but most of this bullishness really started to pick up, right? Really started to pick up recently, off of the backing of all these wars, right? All these news events coming out of wars happening, of missiles flying and all that good stuff, right? So gold as a commodity definitely benefits, during periods of war, during periods of uncertainty and all that good stuff, right? So I believe right now we could be going through a period of risk off, right? We are going through a risk off environment. I mean, this entire year, it's very easy for me to say that, guys, because since the beginning of this year, right, like, this is the low here, right, of the dollar. The dollar low was formed essentially at the end of last year, like literally December 28th of last year was formed, and ever since then we've been bullish, right? So ever since us finding this low, we have clearly been very much risk off, right, in terms of how investors are feeling, right? The sentiment that these investors feel right now at the current state of the market, right? They are very much a little bit more concerned. They're very fearful. They're also trying to figure out what the hell is the best course of action for them. So we have been very much risk off, right? Which means turn the risk off, right? If you guys are confused as to what risk on versus risk off is, it's a sentiment that investors have based on the current state of the markets, all right? The sentiment, okay? Risk off means turn the risk off. Go to those safe havens. There's a lot happening in this world. Let's go ahead and make sure that we make, a safer investment. Let's make sure that we are protecting our investments for our investors. So we'll go ahead and invest into the dollar itself through government bonds, or we'll go ahead and invest into gold, which usually is a very safe hedge against fear and things like that, right? But then when we're talking about risk on, it means turn the risk on. Right, that is when we are very hopeful. We have a lot of optimism in this space, right? There's great news coming out. That itself will start to lose value, and the dollar will start to fall during a risk-on environment, and that's because now people are liquidating their dollars, and guess where they're investing into? Into indices, right? Into stocks, into crypto, into commodities, right? Because now they'll rather go ahead and be a little bit riskier and get a better return as opposed to investing into the dollar or government-backed bonds for a coupon, whatever the case may be. So they'll feel a lot more confident in going ahead and employing their money back into these risk assets, right? So that's what we're talking about. Risk on versus risk off is more of a sentiment thing, right? When you hear people talk about that, they're really talking about the sentiment of the overall space as a whole from the perspective of these hedge funds and these investors. All right, is this making sense, family? Drop a 3 in the chat real quick. Drop a 3 in the chat real quick if this is making sense. Because you know why? I feel like I'm cooking right now. I feel like I'm cooking up right now. But let me know in the chat if this is making sense, family, right? Because again, this is that fundamental talk that you normally don't find here on YouTube, right? This is that fundamental talk that you normally don't find, honestly, most Forex traders talking about, right? Because most Forex traders, for the most part, really just focused on technicals. And I could say this because even when I started trading, guys, or even when I started educating, I was that same way where I was like, yeah, I understand the news. I understand the news. I understand that. But I like to focus on technicals, right? When it comes to fundamentals, I just know to identify when there's high, impact news events and just avoid trading it. Like that's like the extent that most Forex traders have, right? They'll just say, yeah, look at the news just to identify when volatility is supposed to come out, and they just don't trade around it. But for us, we don't shy away from trading around news because we actually dive deep, right? We actually dive deep and we try to dissect, all right, what is this news saying, right? What is going to be the sentiment based off this news? And then how can we take advantage of the volatility that's going to come from the news? It's a different ballgame, right? I truly believe, family, all right, there's only 3 of you guys that understand this stuff. I might have to go a little bit deeper. Right, I might have to go a little bit deeper if there's only 3 of y'all that understand this. I might have to go a little bit deeper, right? Because this is value right here, family. Right. So, what I'll say it is, fundamental data, family, is very important. If right now you are a technical-based trader, in fact, I want to ask you guys this question: if you are solely a technical-based trader, drop a 1 in the chat. If you only trade off technicals right now, drop a 1 in the chat. Which again, it's nothing. I mean, it is what it is, right? I was a technical trader, solely technical traders for like 4 years, 5 years, right? I just got into fundamentals maybe like 2-3 years ago. But if you are solely a technical based trader, drop a 1 in the chat. If you are a technical and fundamental trader, drop a 2 in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, I really want to know. Like, I really want to know. Let's see. Okay, so we got a few of you guys that are both fundamental and technical based traders, which is phenomenal. Come on now, let's get it. That's amazing. Okay, we have a lot more technical and fundamental based traders in the building, which is phenomenal. That is great. Right, and I ask this all the time, right? Because I truly believe if you are a technical trader right now, but yet you're still struggling with truly becoming profitable, then you should consider adding fundamentals to the equation. Right? Because when you're able to figure out what the overall sentiment of the market is, right? When we're talking about sentiment, right, that is really what's going to drive the long-term trend of these markets. Right? When we're talking about, if we really want to go there, if we're talking smart money, how many of you guys currently trade smart money concepts? Right? How many of you guys currently trade smart money? Because we're gonna have to debunk a little bit. Right, because if we really want to trade smart money concepts, when I say smart money, right, yes, I take certain ideologies from smart money, right, from ICT strategy, if you want to consider him as the smart money guy. I take a lot of his concepts from a technical perspective, but when I think smart money, I don't think smart money based off technicals. I don't think that. Right, when I think smart money, I'm thinking about it from a fundamental standpoint. What is smart money thinking right now? What is smart money planning on doing based on the current state of the markets? What is smart money going to do based on what Jerome Powell's about to say? How is smart money going to react with interest rates staying elevated at this high for this prolonged period of time? How is smart money going to react if we don't cut any rates this year? Like, that's the real smart money y'all should be focused on. Because the technicals is the technicals. There's thousands of ways to trade technical analysis. Thousands. Like, legit thousands of ways, thousands of technical strategies that you can use and become profitable with. Right? But I think the one thing that most traders are lacking or are missing is the understanding of smart money from a fundamental perspective. Because that perspective is what's driving long-term price action. That perspective is what's really moving price. Like, yes, there's technical patterns that we could play. There's technical clues in the markets that help us identify when big players are entering the market. But we should have an idea of that, of direction before the technicals even show. Because when you're able to align the fundamental outlook with the technical bias, and they're both aligned, see, now you have a super high probability setup. But what most traders do, and I used to be, I'm a great example of this. I used to do it as well. When I used to say, man, I have a high probability setup, it was solely based off one form of analysis. How can you have a high probability setup solely based off of one form of analysis? That doesn't make no sense to me. If I'm trying to have a high probability setup, then I need to incorporate every form of analysis. Is this making sense, fam, or am I going too deep here? All right, because I might hurt some feelings on this call. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to, buddy nobody, right? I'm here to really give you guys my experiences and my thoughts from the past 8 years of me trading. 8 years. Right? So again, when I talk about a high probability setup, it incorporates everything, not just technical analysis. And I think that's why I've been able to be, trading at a good level for the past few years. Because I try to incorporate all of it. Right? I try to incorporate all of it as much as possible. Right? Look at Mike. Mike, that's a great name, actually. Matter of fact, Mike, you might have to, if you don't trademark that, Mike, that's actually mad funny. Smarter money concepts. Nah, that's crazy, bro. Hold on. I'm gonna have to write down. Yo, right? We have smart money concepts, and then we have smarter money concepts. Nah, fam, we gotta give Mike a round of applause for that, because that is dumb funny. That might be the play of the year right there. Right? We have smart money concepts, but then we have smarter money concepts. That is hilarious, actually. Holy moly. Yo. And the smarter money concepts is when you incorporate all forms of analysis, not just one. We have 3: technicals, fundamentals, and then the sentiment based off both. Right? That's the smarter money concepts. Now, that's hilarious, Mike. That's hilarious for sure. Right? But again, family, especially if you are a profitable trader right now, because I know we have a ton of you guys that are actually making a shit ton of money, right? If you're a profitable trader, can you drop a 6 in the chat real quick? Right? Can you drop a 6 in the chat real quick if you are, making some money through trading? Let me know in the chat real quick, right? Because I know we have some profitable ones in the building. Even if it's, not too much long term, you guys just started to get, into the swing of things. Let me know in the chat, man. Let me know in the chat, man. You guys that are profitable without the use of fundamental and sentimental analysis, I think that you would be even more profitable once you incorporate it. Right? It's amazing that you're profitable. Keep that shit up, right? Again, I celebrate everybody. But we can take things up a whole nother level by simply adding more analysis to your equation. Now, don't add too much to where now you start to get analysis paralysis, but you should want to know what the smart money is thinking. Right? Smart money makes decisions based off the data that's coming out. That's just a fact, right? Smart money, these hedge funds, these banks, these institutions, right, that people always talk, right? The one question that I used to ask personally, and people ask all the time, who's trading in these markets, right? Who's moving these markets? We understand that it's the hedge funds, the corporations, the market makers, right? We understand that it's the dealing desk. We understand these things. But they're making decisions not based off no damn pattern. They're making decisions not just based off structure. Right? Those institutions that have the ability to move price, you think they're coming to these markets and saying, oh man, look at this fair value gap. More times than not, it's not what they're talking about, right? No, they're making decisions based off of the data that's given to them, based off the news that we have access to. That's what moves price. Okay? So yeah, we need to really get in tune with that, family, because this is game changer. Again, these markets are very predictable, especially when you incorporate everything, man. especially when you incorporate everything. All right, let's see. I learned so much from you when it comes to fundamentals of the market. That's amazing. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad. How to add fundamentals to my analysis? That's a great question. It really just comes down to really just doing your research, right? And actually studying people that actually talk about it often. Right now, for those of you guys that are trying to really master fundamental analysis, I do have a course. Again, I typically don't push my course on here because, again, I really just like to come and just do my thing here live with y'all. But if you do want to take your, your fundamental game to the next level, I have a course, right, that literally breaks down. I have an entire fundamental section that literally goes in depth on how to trade these markets from a fundamental perspective, right? We talk about all the news events in the course, how the market should react based off certain situations and certain scenarios, right? Why it's important, first things first, right? So if you want that, just go grab the course, right? Go grab the course, or if you want to take a little bit longer to learn it, then just continue to show up, right? I'm doing these live streams every Friday for now. In about 2 weeks, I'm going to be going live Monday through Friday on YouTube, right? So in 2 weeks, y'all going to have me every single morning, which is going to be pretty fire. And obviously, I'm going to be talking my fundamental talk. We're going to go deeper than just surface level like what most people go. I'm going to be inviting guests on as well to, participate in the conversations when it comes to fundamental analysis. I'm going to have some of my most successful friend traders on the stream as well, so we can go deeper than surface level stuff. And that's going to be full, right? It's going to be fire, right? So again, if you want it, it's there, right? If you don't want to pay, if you can't pay, listen. By all means, don't do it. All right, just continue to tune in. Make sure to be subscribed to the channel, and yeah, just enjoy the content as I push it out. So we about to go up. We about to go up. Like, I want you guys to remember this now, family. We have 50 live viewers right now, just 50, and I love every single one of you guys that are viewing this right now, right? But we only have 50. Watch 6 months from now. Watch 6 months from now. We're gonna go from 50 to 100 to the 500 to then thousands. Like, I'm coming to YouTube to not just compete, but to dominate, because the value that I'm providing is next level. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say anything about all the other streamers, because I know there's a lot of great traders in the building, a lot of great traders that stream on YouTube, especially during New York session. I go a little bit above and beyond. I'm a little biased just because I'm always gonna big up myself, but hey. Let's see, I got your course for 150. I feel like I robbed you. Yeah. There's a lot of you guys that got in super early for the course, that's for sure. Right? But no, the course right now is 450. Right? It's definitely not 150. It is 450 right now. But there is a 30% off coupon code that I could give you guys. All right, and I even hate doing this, right? Because again, I hate shilling my stuff, right? If you guys want it, you guys can find it, right? But I'm so big on fundamental analysis and the importance of it. I feel like you guys got to have this stuff right here, right? So let me go ahead and give you guys. And again, I do have a coupon code for 30% off. It comes out to like 300 and some bucks. All right, $300 to really master this stuff and really get deeper in fundamentals. Like, it's just a no-brainer. Like, it's an absolute no-brainer. All right, so if you guys want it, you guys can come here to this website, wealthyvisions.com. All right, this is my community. Shout out to my Wealthy Visions gang. All right. wealthyvisions.com. You can use coupon code. What is the coupon code? I don't even know what the damn coupon code is, but I got y'all. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do for y'all. I'm feeling super generous, right? Normally it's, again, 30% off that I typically do is usually like the lowest, but this is what I got for y'all right now, right? I'm actually gonna make a new code right now live, and we're gonna just give 50% off to everybody that takes advantage of it. All right, and we're gonna call the coupon code is gonna be STREAM. 50% off, right, using coupon code STREAM for anybody that's serious. The coupon code is now live. All right, again, you don't have to. It's up to you. I'm not going to be begging nobody for it, but if you want to really go next level, again, we have an entire fundamental analysis mastery here that you can take advantage of that will go in depth on this stuff. You guys can take advantage of it yourself, right? So again, wealthyvisionsacademy.com, coupon code STREAM, 50% off is there. That coupon code's only going to be available, like I said, probably for 72 hours or so, right? Because I typically don't like to give that much of a discount. But, for you guys, just because I want y'all to win, there you go. Take advantage of it. All right, now enough of the promo. Let's get back into this, family. So again, gold right now, man, is still chilling. like I told you guys, I want to see gold really show me what it wants to do, right? I'm favoring the upside, so I want to see us break above that 2386 and then possibly continue there. But we have seen this market completely erase its entire buy sit that we've seen, right? So there is a chance that we just end up breaking lower, and then below that 2373, I think we can go ahead and really start to look for some shorts and possibly target down to the 2355s. If we look for the buys and we get the buys, we're going to be targeting up to, I mean, the initial target will be very close at 2394, but I do think that we probably come right back up to these highs at 2400, which is a massive move. If we sell off, right, under 2373, then at that point I think we could target down to 2355, and that would be a safe thing. Again, now fundamentally I am still very much bullish gold, so even if today does produce an opportunity to short for us, I am going to be monitoring how we react back down in these lows, right, down below the 2355, 2360s, because I think eventually we're just going to rebound. And even if we do sell off for today, I will be looking for something like this eventually. Go ahead and go right back up to the upside. Right, gold right now, family, is trading in uncharted territory. Right, like besides the past couple of weeks, we have never been this high for gold ever. All right, so we are trading in uncharted territory right now, but I think we have more upside to go. Right, I think we have more upside to go. Even if we do see a little bit of a sell-off overall today, we might see a little bit of a wick fill, take out this low, but from there, you guys know we look for that live OB supported by volume, and then we can go ahead and start to target back to the upside. So, hey, take advantage of it if you want. Take advantage of it if you want, man. It's deal. It's deal. It's deal. Hey, man. It's deal. Oh, family, matter of fact, I forgot to even announce this, right? Not even go back on the course, but I am working on version 2.0. Right? I am working on version 2.0 of the course. Everybody that has my course currently, you all get grandfathered into 2.0. Right? I did this before as well, right? Where I grandfathered a bunch of people in from simply joining into a boot camp that I hosted last year. And they all ended up getting the course for free because they were grandfathered in. So I'm a man of my word. Right, everybody that's currently in the course will get grandfathered into 2.0, which should be releasing within the next 3 weeks or so. 3-4 weeks is when I plan on finishing it all up. And that's going to just really be more so based on strategy, right? 2.0 really isn't going to have none of the basic stuff, right? That's why, you know, the 1.0 is there to really touch on a lot of the basic key components and stuff. But 2.0 is going to be solely strategy, right? Solely strategy. I have a few different strategies that I really use, right? One's with indicators, one without indicators, right? One using other different tools, whether it's volume, whether it's the VWAP. Like, there's a bunch of different tools that I'm able to use, that I have used. That's all going to be in 2.0. So, hey, man, if you want to get grandfathered in, you better get 1.0, because if you don't get 2.0 by the time 2.0 comes out, then you're going to have to probably try to buy both if you want them both, right? So, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. All right, enough for the promo. All right, so yeah, let's continue to see what gold does here, family. As of right now, we are reacting off of this resistance. Again, 2386, 2385 resistance coming back lower. We are starting to come down below my moving averages as well. If we do end up closing like this, which it looks like we are right now in the 15-minute time frame, this could be honestly the high, right? This could be the high that ends up sending us lower here. Like, it really could be, right? The key thing is, are we actually going to be able to break the support, though? Right, if we can go ahead and close like this, if the volume can start to pick up, and if the volume supports the move, that'll be even better. It did not support the volume as of right now, but this could be a level. Again, I'm not taking it off of here, right? I still want to see us break below this low, but this could be the start of this move right here. All right, just keeping our eye on it. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, was that me hitting by Eric? I ain't. Yeah, for those of you guys that do have the wrench, keep in mind, again, you guys are the mods of this stream, so you guys have the ability to delete any comment. So you might end up doing it by accident. Let's see, you use Wyckoff. I do incorporate Wyckoff into it. And that will be something that I add in 2.0. For sure, but it's not something that I said I am just solely a Wyckoff trader. Or like, I understand the concepts of it. Trust me, you know, I learned from one of the best, You know, shout out to my boy Skaggs. Like, he's one of the best Wyckoff traders out there. So I truly understand the concept in its entirety, from accumulations to distributions to the phases and all that stuff. And I do incorporate it as well into my analysis. Like, you can look at, you know, gold right now. And if this ends up falling off, right, a lot of people might start to consider that we're going through a big distribution cycle right now if you were on the sell side, right, of gold. For me, I'm still very much bullish, so I believe that this is more of sort of a reaccumulation cycle that we're going through, and I think we just continue going bullish, right? So I understand the concepts that is going to be in version 2.0 of my course where I go into, you know, Wyckoff, but it's not, I wouldn't say that that's like my main strategy, right? But I do understand it at a high level because I have one of the best mentors in the game. By far one of the best mentors of the game. He's Mr. Wyckoff. Promise you that. All right, let's see. You going in deep on fundamentals? I feel like there's always more to the fundamentals. There always could be more, but I do go deep in it. Absolutely. Right, and again, that's something that, again, I'm going to add more to. When I'm talking strategy in 2.0, guys, like, I'm really going to be incorporating everything. Right, strategy is not just technicals. Like, strategy is how to play the fundamentals with the sentiment to the technicals, how to align all of it together. So absolutely, we going deep in it. And you, out of all people, Eric, like, you know that we go deep, right? You know, you're in the private community, right? So you understand the conversations that we be having, you know, on stream, right? And the type of value that we provide, right? Especially when, you know, we have our debates, right? Our fundamental debates, right? Them things be super powerful, right? In fact, a lot of you guys have been on those calls, right? Where we have the craziest, you know, debates on fundamental analysis that is just next level value, right? That you don't get nowhere else. You know, so yeah, nah, trust me, we gonna go deep for sure, and take things up to the next level. Let's see what we got here, though. Yeah, he's Mr. Wyckoff. Nah, that's for sure. All right, so again, let's continue to watch gold. Like I said, gold does have, it looks like this thing is probably just going to continue to drop from these levels, but I really want to see how we end up, you know, how we hold up on this support right here, right? If we can take out the 2374, 2373, then I think we continue to drop. Now, you could take some stabs in the market, right? If you guys know, you know, we do something called taking stabs in the market, right, where prices at certain key levels, you know, that we're comfortable with. We'll take a little stab. You know, there is a chance that you could take a little stab if you wanted to, you know, on this engulfing that we just closed. You know, stops above the highs if you wanted to, and then try to target like that. There's nothing wrong with that if you wanted to do it. This could be very, you know, very powerful play, especially with the risk to reward the way it could come out. You know, this is a solid 3.5 to 1 risk to reward, which is phenomenal. And yeah, you could take a little stab if you also feel like we're gonna drop, right? But the more safer, in my opinion, the more confident entry would be just let this thing actually prove that we're going to break this range, right? Because right now, again, this range is pretty, honestly, I could probably make this range even a little higher, right? But this range is really holding, you know, it's holding pretty strong right now, right? It's holding pretty strong, pretty aggressively, you know, so we don't know if we are actually going to break this just yet. Let's see. I feel powerful with this wrench just getting to my head. Nah, you guys are hilarious. All right, let's see what indices are doing, right? You guys are right. Indices have been open now for... Damn, it's already 10 o'clock. I feel like indices just opened 5 minutes ago. All right, but let's see what happened here, right? So NASDAQ itself, which is probably my preferred indice. Again, I told you guys I personally believe that we are going to probably continue going lower here, especially with just all the tensions happening right now in the world, in the space. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see the market continue to target lower here. But again, we'll have to see what the markets produce. US 30 is rising, though. US 30 has been, I don't want to say like a leading indicator for indices, but US 30 rising like this could be a sign that indices will eventually do something similar as well, right? Because we've seen it happen recently. In fact, a couple days ago, it's happened. Right, it literally happened, right? And this is what I'm saying. It could be a leading indicator where we look at this right here. We look at the past previous days here for indices, and this has just been going up, right? Even while the NASDAQ had periods where it would open and we'll see a sell-off trying to trap people, it eventually will turn around and continue to go up, just like how US 30 is doing, right? So if US 30 could be used as an indicator to see what these other ones are going to do, then I would have to assume, and again, I could be just, I could be wrong here, but I would be assuming that if we do get above this 1733, that there is a chance that the NASDAQ also just does what US 30 is doing, because US 30 is like rising, and it doesn't look like it wants to slow down right now. All right, I know Cam, I know Sis, you over here probably looking for the shorts. I think it is what you said. But this thing is going right now, right? And that could be a sign that indices might want to follow suit as well. Now, in order for me to get involved, right, S&P little might go up, but if I want to get involved here, if we can get back above this key level here, then I wouldn't be opposed to taking that, which it looks like we might end up doing, right? If we can get a nice strong push above 1733, a nice close above 1733, then yeah, I think there is a good chance that, indices at the least just come back and start to test these highs once again, which is a very good move. Indices are very volatile, right? They do their thing, right, to say the least. So if we can get back above here, again, a close back above here, a close back above my moving averages, my trigger lines, absolutely, I think that we can see, more upside, right? So we'll keep on watching this. If we don't break above here, then obviously selling pressure is eventually going to come through, take over, and then we're going to target down to these lows, and we'll see if there's an opportunity to get involved in as well. But I think I'm favoring upside as of right now. I think I said earlier I was favoring downside, but based off structure, based off what the other indices are doing, I think there is a chance that we could actually possibly bounce up. But I'm not jumping in at all until we actually get a nice break above, close above these levels, personally. We can get that, phenomenal. If this ends up rolling over, if we do create a new low, then that's cool. That's showing me that we are going to be bearish, and I'll go ahead and see if we can get a little short pullback to then go ahead and try to jump in on the sells as well. That'll be pretty cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Where'd my NASDAQ? Did I just erase my NASDAQ chart? Let's see. Did I just erase? I did just erase my NASDAQ chart. Let me see. Give me 1 second, family. Yeah, so we'll have to see how this continues to play out here. Again, I want to see a close above here if I'm going to go bullish. I want to see a close above here if I'm going to go bullish. Above 1730, 260s or so. This ain't even the right NASDAQ chart that I was using. Let me see. Where my NASDAQ chart at, man? Where my one that I was using? Is it the Oanda one? I think it could be the Oanda chart. Yeah, it is the Oanda chart. All right, let's go. Get up out of here, buddy. Yeah, again, I'm only bullish though if we close above. If we don't close above, then I'm not bullish. We're gonna let this thing drop. We're gonna let it go ahead and show itself. And if it shows itself, then we'll go ahead and wait for a small short pullback, and then we'll just take advantage of the sells instead. Let's see. I see a lot of you guys are gonna take a stab on US 30 up at these highs. I mean, to be honest, if we are gonna sell off on US 30, like there is a good possibility that we do see it up here. We are seeing a lot of bullishness though. Like, keep in mind, family, we did have a very aggressive sell-off. All right, that really got erased pretty quickly here. All right, so just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not opposed to the sell. I don't know if we're gonna sell as far as people might think back to the lows, but if we are gonna sell here, like, this is probably gonna be the best area. I don't know if I'm a fan of the sells. I'm being honest with y'all. All right, I don't know if I'm a fan of the sells personally. I think we ended up erasing this move way too quickly, and now we're pushing very aggressively to the upside with a lot of volume behind it. But hey, it's your guys' trade and count, right? You guys take those stabs whenever you see fit. I know a lot of you guys, especially those you guys that are saying you're gonna take shorts, you guys are more experienced than most, right? So, I know you guys are making a proper decision based off, the strategy that we have been essentially trading for a while. I see. For the sell, I see a lot of y'all taking the sell. See, now you guys are gonna make me want to just take the sell, so I'm involved here, right? Now you guys are making me want to take the sell just cause. But let's see, what is all the markets doing, right? Is NASDAQ pushing back down? Let me see. Let me take a look at these and see if we have some type of a divergence. Hey, the NASDAQ did break below here. Again, I said if we do break these lows right here, we're probably gonna come and target the 17,250s. And then possibly the 17,200s. The S&P as well. I mean, the S&P still got the S&P could fall here, but Yeah, I'm not a fan of the S&P unless we get below here. If we get below the 5,005 level for the S&P, then I'll be a big fan of looking for some shorts. US 30, in order for me to want to sell US 30, I'm going to be honest, family. In order for me to want to sell US 30, we're going to have to like really just break out of this hole. Like this little wedge that we're creating up here. Right, this is a 1 minute play, 1 minute time frame. But we'll have to really go ahead and break out of this wedge for me. Like show that we actually have weakness, wait for that pullback, and then go ahead and jump it. Like that's the only way I would be taking a sell here. This thing is just showing too much strength for me. But if we get that, phenomenal. For those of you guys that are, trying to front run it or getting in early, hey, y'all gonna have a better risk reward than I am. That's for damn sure. All right, let's see what we got here though. Manage risk and you'll be good forever. Absolutely. All right, let's see. We're gonna have a 3-minute LC, a 3-minute OB. I mean, I see. We are getting a nice reaction. Again, if we are going to sell, like this is probably the best area to look for them shorts from. All right, even though I'm chilling, if we are going to sell, this is probably the best area we're going to look for shorts from. So again, I'm not even mad that some of you guys are taking these trades, man. Let's see. Hey, the 3-minute did confirm. Hey, man, if you guys know the OB play, right? If you guys know the live OB play, it technically did close as an engulfing while sweeping these short highs, supported by volume. Hey, man. Hey, man. If you guys know the live OB play, y'all know that's an entry technique for most of us. Again, I'm still chilling, but that is an entry play for most of us. That is an entry play. I'm gonna wait though. I'm going to wait. I need to see us get below. Now, at this point, I want to see us close below my trigger line. My trigger line is the green moving average. That's my trigger. Right? That's my trigger right there. Right? That's my moving average. That's my trigger. All right? I need to get below that before I go ahead and take any stabs. All right? I need to see that. So, I'm chilling. I'm chilling until we get that bad boy. Let's see. Took the stab. It's worth a stab for sure. I mean, again, I know for you guys know what y'all talk about, right? So it's definitely worth the stab if you understand the concepts here. Right? Okay, everything matched up. Right? We got the engulfing supported by volume after sweeping some short liquidity. Yeah, everything is lining up here, right? So we'll see if that continues. What is Nasdaq doing? Nasdaq is still trying to drop. S&P is trying to drop as well. We are past the 10 o'clock time as well. So whatever that happens here could be the move for the day. Like if this does actually start to drop, then I think this will be probably the move for the remainder of at least the volatility session, or at least the volume in the session. Let's see. Yeah, if the 5-minute confirms, that'll be fire as well. Again, I always gotta wait for my trigger line though. That's why I'm not in it. I gotta wait for my trigger line. If we close below the trigger line, then I might consider taking with y'all. I might consider taking it with y'all. Let's see. Let's see. I just need to not forget to modify my positions. Yesterday ended up losing $100 because I closed my positions, but I never closed the TP I had for my runner and execute that position. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Actually, there was somebody else as well that reached out to me. And for anybody that's trading futures, like really understanding how to set up your take profit, it gets very confusing. But you simply just have to do the exact opposite of the position that you just took, right? So yeah, that's typically the easiest way to explain it. But I know somebody else reached out to me yesterday, and they ended up blowing their futures prop firm account. They ended up blowing two, actually. They ended up blowing one because they didn't understand the trailing drawdown rule with these futures prop firm accounts, which, again, I'm not a fan of these future prop firms as much as I am regular Forex prop firms. But, hey, they're great opportunities still for people. But he ended up blowing an account because of the trailing drawdown, which is, again, just a horrible rule. I'm not a fan of it. But he ended up also blowing an account because he ended up putting the wrong he didn't put the wrong TP, but he put the wrong order that would have closed his trade. right? He ended up putting, I forgot what it was, but it just, yeah, he ended up blowing it because he ended up thinking he was taking profit, and he ended up just putting it to where it entered the position in the opposite direction or something like that. It was something like that. I see. What is the other moving average? This is a 50. All right, I just got the 50 period and the 12 period moving average. All right, I just got the 50 and the 12. That's all I got here. Again, the 12 is my trigger though. Like a close, a nice strong close below that 12 is typically what I like to look for my entries for any setup on anything, right? Like I always typically like to look for those closures below that trigger line. Let's see, I'm loving the futures market. Yeah, and it really is, right? It's really it's a lot cleaner because it's centralized, right? The futures exchanges are all based off the same. Like there ain't no manipulation involved. There ain't different feeds with different price points. Like for the most part, all the pricing should be damn near identical. So it's usually a lot cleaner, for sure. Let's see, haven't traded SPX in a fat minute. I used to, but I don't know. I think SPX is bullish right now, but I haven't been updated in the fundamentals, but I think she's bullish. She could be bullish. All right, I mean, it depends on what time frame you're looking at, right? If you look at this frame, right, like, yeah, you can look at it and be like, yeah, she's been super bullish. We're just going through a correction right now, right? But as you get to lower time frames and you start to really just read structure, like, we're clearly bearish here on these smaller time frames, right? Because we're just creating, bearish structure overall. In order for us to go back bullish, obviously we should want to see a break of structure back to the upside, right? Like if we see something like this, where we start to take out this high that put in the low, again, this is the high that put in this low, right? If we end up taking that out, then there's a good chance that we are probably going to go ahead and start to make our way back to the upside. But as of right now, it's kind of tough because we still are, creating bearish structure. This could simply be just a lower high point to go ahead and test back to these lows. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, trade what you see. If you really believe that we are going to go bullish, then definitely, take those stabs. All right, let's see. So we did get that closure below, family, right? We got that closure below. Again, typically this is when I would enter these markets, right? On the close below the trigger line, right? A close below the trigger line is typically my entry all day long. Let me actually see. So again, it's not getting the best entry like some of y'all. But I promise you I'm getting a confident entry, which is I think more important. Which I think is more important, right? I'm all about confidence in these markets, man. I need confidence if I'm looking for something. Fitty, 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 bounce, fitty, bounce, fitty, bounce, fitty, 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 bounce. We'll see if this can hold. Now, if we close back above my trigger line, we got to be mindful of that. Right? If we end up closing back above it, that's going to be looking ugly for the sellers, but we got to see how this continues to go. All right, so we're going to let this play out. I know a lot of you guys are probably in this already. So we're going to let that play out. In the meantime, let me go ahead and take a look at the rest of the market. Gold ended up rebounding pretty aggressively. Okay, gold, talk to me nice. Yeah, talk to me nice. Again, I'm still on the sidelines for gold, man. I'm still on the sidelines, still waiting. Again, we're stuck in this range right here between 23.93 and 23.73. So around a 200 pip range or so. Like I told you guys, man, we did see a lot of selling pressure that had me a little concerned, but I am still very much long-term bullish gold. Now that we're actually starting to see some strength come in, especially after the 10 o'clock candle or the 10 o'clock hour, this could be the start. This could be the start of bullishness here for gold. Right, this really could be the start, especially since we completely erased this engulfing that probably enticed a lot of sellers in. In fact, I was thinking that it could be sells because of that. I wouldn't be surprised if gold now does continue to drive. Right, so how can we get involved with gold now that it's already running? I mean, you can be a degenerate and just take the trade now and just deal with a wider stop. Again, gold has been extremely volatile though, family, so like these stop losses are going to be, they're going to be a lot wider than you're probably used to. All right, like gold has been moving at a very, very crazy pace lately, right? Like, I mean, hypothetically speaking, if we like this thing is up almost 100 pips from these lows, that's a massive move in a matter of 15, 20, 30 minutes, right? A massive move. right? So now that we got this move showing its sign, showing the momentum here, I am bullish. We're still within the range though. We still have to really, be able to clear this level with some, with some momentum for this thing to continue, right? We could just bounce off of this resistance and come right back down. That's like the worst part about trading within ranges. You can have your bias and the market just continue to keep us range bound, which is annoying as hell. That's actually what's been happening to me the past couple of days. I traded gold. I've been taking a couple L's because of how just choppy and range bound we've been. But if we do come back down now, right, now that we're seeing this strength come in for gold, right, if we are able to come down now, push back down here, get back towards a area of structure, right, around the 2384s, that could be an entry for us now, right, to try to see if we are going to break out to the upside. That's a possibility. All right, that's a possibility. Or we just wait for the market to go ahead, continue to drive higher, actually close above this level, wait for that retest, and then drive like that as well. So that's where I'm at, L. Let's see what we got here. What's the difference between price and Forex and futures? I mean, the price points are going to be very similar. But from the Forex side or the CFD side, we really got to stop. We have to, I know it's easy to say, because technically we are trading Forex, but you got to think about it, guys, right? When we're trading indices, like, are we actually trading Forex? Like, are we actually trading the Forex markets? Let's ask AI, right? Is trading gold via CFDs considered trading the Forex markets? Yes or no? And how about for indices? Let's ask AI real quick, right? Let's see. No, trading gold via CFDs is not considered trading the Forex markets. All right, Forex markets trade currency pairs. Okay, CFDs are derivatives, which we understand that. Now, indice trading with CFDs is also not Forex. And I only bring this up because, again, we really do got to get away from saying, oh, yeah, I'm trading the Forex markets. I love trading gold. Like, professional traders are going to look at you and be like, what? Like, I understand you're leveraging the Forex market possibly through CFDs, but, like, realistically, Forex is really more so, yeah. So, hey, y'all do what y'all want to do, man. I just wanted to make sure we put that out there. But let's see. I'm trying to get back into the prop space this week, man, but this trade locker thing is frustrating me. I've seen that, right? I've seen that trade locker has had a lot of issues lately, where it's just not loading up, I believe it was. I mean, family, how many of you guys are actually trading prop firms, or not even just prop firms? How many of you guys are currently using trade locker to mark up your charts and place trades with? How many of you guys are actually using it? Because I have seen that there's been a lot of issues with it. But keep in mind, Trade Locker is still fairly new, right? I believe Trade Locker is still less than 6 months to a year old. So it's going to have some hiccups. It's going to have some issues, especially as more people start to navigate towards Trade Locker and it starts to build a massive user base. There's going to be little hiccups, right? And it's frustrating. It's annoying. I get it. But I still think Trade Locker is still going to be one of the better options out there, right? It's way better than DX trades. DX trades is shit. C Traders is alright. Alright, C Traders is pretty cool. Match Trader has the potential to be really, really good, but that's also like still very buggy. So like compared to the other options that we have, I still think Trade Locker is still a pretty decent option once they get all these things figured out. Let's see if this 15-minute can confirm as well is looking solid. Yeah, let's go back. Let's take a look at that, right? Because gold, we gotta see what gold and do. I think gold continues bullish here, but what are indices doing now? These things still tanking. I mean, it's trying, right? It's trying. There we go. Come on, it stayed below our trigger line here. Stayed below our trigger line. Yeah. Okay, looks good. Let's see, how do you determine your trigger lines and why is it something that you started incorporating into your strategy? It's something that I've always had, right? I've always had, because I have multiple monitors, right? So I always have my secondary monitor that has like just all of my D-low moving averages, you can call it, right? But I've always used it, right? I've always used it. It's just not something that I always obviously, I mean, recently this year, you guys see me incorporate it a lot more. but I've always used it, right? The reason why I started making it more public again is because I realized how many people that still follow me and are in our community that still trade based off the strategy I used to teach, right? Which was DeLorean, right? So once I realized, like, yo, there's actually a lot of y'all that still really live or die by this strategy, DeLorean. I'm like, man, okay, I should just start to incorporate this again, right? And see if it is useful for the community to see, right? But I've always had it. You guys know I've always had at least a 50 period moving average on here. Always. Like, I've always traded with the 50. That's just something I've always felt comfortable with doing, and it works for me. It's the trigger line, the one that actually is now you guys are able to see it. But I've always had it because it's based off of another strategy I used to teach. But it's really dope, right? Again, the trigger line itself, it helps me avoid fake outs in the market, right? And it also tells me, all right, we closed. That is the trigger. Pull the trigger and just deal with the outcome. Right, so it makes it easier even for the newer trader, mainly for the newer trader, to identify when it's time to get in. Because even though we get an engulfing pattern and things like that, people are still very skeptical. And in fact, engulfing patterns don't always freaking work. Right, we have all seen numerous engulfing patterns that showed that look really good that just got completely engulfed once again. Right, they just don't work. But the trigger line is pretty solid. Right, typically we close below the trigger line more times than not. I think it's usually pretty solid, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Now, again, we use the trigger line as an area to entry. But if we do close back above this trigger line, man, we got to be mindful of that, right? Close back above could signify that we're getting ready just to continue, especially since we are already, you know, bullish, at least here on these smaller time frames. If we close back above this, now I'm pretty positive anybody that took those sells are probably going to get stopped out. You know, so we got to stay below the trigger line now. The trigger line needs to act like a barrier, right? It needs to act like a barrier and do something like this, right? Because it's going to go ahead and move with price, obviously, and we need to just continue to bounce off of this trigger line all day long. If we can continue to bounce off that, then we'll be safe and we'll be good to go. All right, let's see what we got here. I have been struggling with challenges. I passed phase 1 yesterday in one day. Let's go, man. Round of applause for you. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Wait, let me finish the sentence real quick. In one day, got phase 2, got 3% in the morning, then got max daily. Damn, so I celebrated a little bit too early, Ninja. But again, congratulations for passing phase 1. To be honest, if you could pass phase 1, you can do it again. Right? You can do it again. Right? If you passed it before, you can do it again. Right? So hopefully you have the confidence in that itself. Right? Because again, most people aren't even able to pass phase 1. Right, so big shout out to you. We're still gonna celebrate you for at least passing phase 1. Phase 2 is unfortunate. It is what it is. But at least you passed it once. You can do it again, man. We're gonna get you right back to it. And Ninja, I'm gonna save the celebration because I didn't finish the sentence. But we're gonna celebrate you when you come back on stream, bro. And you say, Abel, bro, finally got funded. You know, past phase 1 and 2. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw a big celebration. We're gonna go ahead and cheer you up and just support you in your journey, bro. That's for damn sure. But yeah, let's see what we get here, family. Let's see. Is Indices going to be able to continue lower? Again, if we close back above here, family, we got to be very careful. We got to be mindful. If we close back above the trigger, this could be a trigger to the upside instead. This could be a trigger to go to the upside instead. Hey, what are the other indices doing? Dang, the NASDAQ actually rolled over pretty nice. NASDAQ did roll over pretty nice here. Oh my goodness. And we took out these lows, took out these lows. Listen, man, if this 1 minute engulfing confirms with volume, hey man, if this confirms with volume, which it did, hey, FTP for the profit. You the 1 minute man over there. And I mean that based off trading, not anything else. Hey. Yeah, the way this is going, it look like US 30 probably, yeah, family, I'm being honest, US 30 probably going to hit that stop for most. Now that we close back above and we erase the trigger, yeah, that's looking kind of tough. I ain't going to lie, that's looking kind of tough. Like, this is, yeah. Yeah, looking kind of tough. Let's see. Caught the NAS? Okay. Now, Drew, did you catch the NAS based off the strategy you've been talking to me about? Did they call it out? Did it call it out? Did it call it out, Drew? Let me know. All right. Did the strategy we've been talking about, probably that you've been hyping up, you've been excited about, did you catch it because of that, or did you catch it just because of you looking for the shifts and things like that? Let me know. Let's see what we got here. Come on, US30. Don't do my people dirty like that. Let's see. The S&P, man, it's starting to push back up. Again, we have this thing pushing up. Gotta do watch 2 candles. Let's see. Both confirmations. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Turn up then, Drew. Turn up then, boy. Because if I go counter, I get smoked. I hear you. I hear you, bro. Come on, US30. Don't do that. I mean, where's everybody's stop losses at for US30, family? Where'd you guys put your stop loss? Did you guys put it directly above this high, or did you guys put it above the swing high? Because if you guys put it above the swing high up here, then you guys still could probably be safe. All right, you guys could still probably be safe here. Again, we got to get below the trigger now. Now, in order for us to have confidence again, we gotta close right back below the trigger. If we can close back below the trigger, or just engulf this previous engulfing on the 3-minute, 5-minute or so, we can get back below it, then you guys will be very, very good. At that point, I don't think we're gonna come back. I think you guys will be super safe. But if we don't get back above the trigger, if we just delete, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Again, it ain't over yet. Listen, man, it ain't over until the fat lady sing, family. I promise y'all. It ain't over till the fat lady sing, man. Let's see what we got here. Break even? You break even? Okay, Leah. Oh, and break even at 3,800. Yeah, this price point is completely out of whack. I don't have a futures account tied here, so I can't even see. Because I know that this is delayed. This is definitely delayed, so I can't even see where price is at on the futures side of things. Let me see. All of my just delayed by like 10 minutes here on the futures. Let's see. Playing the 3-minute OB, that's my setup. If it stops me on, I can always readjust. Listen, bro, I didn't see you take so many wins, bro, with the 3-minute plays and even the 1-minute plays. Like, that's really your go-to. You know what I'm saying? If it stops out, then so be it. It is what it is, right? That's just an L you gotta accept. But I didn't see you catch a lot of W's. And crazy W's at that, doing 4-to-1s, 5-to-1 risk to reward, 6-to-1, 7-to-1 risk to rewards. Like, I didn't see you catch some crazy shit on the lower time frames, right? So, if it don't work out, then it's just one of those L's. It is what it is. It is what it is. We be murdering. Pull up with the pips, we be murdering. I didn't even realize I'm playing a whole trader's playlist too. This playlist is fire. Let's see, man. We're gonna let this bump real quick and we're gonna ride out. We're gonna bump this real quick and let it ride out. I had to go make some changes. Now I'm elevated. Seen the milli, I got motivated. Yeah, I got motivated. And family, big shout out to you guys too that have went in and have went on and actually purchased the course. You guys are savages, man. You guys are phenomenal. Expensive dinners, I'm tipping no waiters. I'm sipping champagne with no special occasion. I just took a training from Tyrone and Abel. Hey, that's me. Took a trip to Miami. I'm riding in foreigns. Nah, this song is tough. Hey, family, y'all might be safe. Let's see if we can get back below this. If we can get back below the 3790s, I think we're going to see a nice little move here. And if we don't see a move, we're probably just going to be range bound for a prolonged period of time. Y'all might be safe. Come on. Come on now. Seen a million, I got motivated. Yeah. Seen a million, I got motivated. Oh nah, WAP is crazy. Hold on. You should see all their faces. We looking good. Family, we did close back below my trigger line on the 3-minute. What about the 5-minute? 5-minute, we're still testing it. Come on now. Don't do my people dirty that's in this trade, man. I'm on that right. It's not what I need. Because you know what to do to me. In the middle, I got motivated. You should see all their faces. I gotta go make some changes. And Nick, I'm elevated. Let's see. Okay, come on now. Come on now. I'm on a van. Come on now, come on. See, there is what you. I seen the millie. I got motivated. We gotta let this play out, family. Hope it can continue to go for us. Come on. You gotta keep dropping. You gotta keep dropping for the people that are in it. Come on. We be murdering. We be murdering. Pull up with the pips, we be murdering. There we go. It's looking good, family. This thing is starting to come back already. Come on now. I think the low is unsustainable. You talking about for the NASDAQ? Yeah, this NASDAQ, man, is very interesting here. I ain't gonna lie. What's gold doing? Hey, gold came back down too. Gold is bouncing off of our trigger. I would like to see us come a little bit lower and then give us the play, but let's see how this plays out for gold as well. I see you on it. We be murdering. Come on, you 30. Come on, baby. Family, how many of you guys are in US 30? Who's in US 30 right now for the sales? Who's in US 30 for the sales right now? Let me know in the chat. In fact, and if you're not in US 30s, family, who's in any positions right now? Let me know the pair that you're trading right now. Is anybody in any positions right now? Besides, anything other than US 30? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Pull up in the, we be rubbing it, yeah. Pull up in the we be murdering, murdering. Pull up in the we be murdering. Pull up with it. Pull up. Murdering. 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 Let's see what we got here, family. Come on, US 30. What are you trying to do here, buddy? Pull up in it. We be murdering. We murdering. Oh, US 30 coming back again. Come on, US 30. What are you trying to do here, boy? US 30 playing games. Let's see. XPXLs. Took a buy on oil. Oil been going crazy, man. Oil, man. Look at oil. Oil doesn't even know what it wants to do either. These markets really have been extremely choppy past couple weeks. Like past couple weeks, man, all these markets have been extremely choppy, bro. Every single market. Except indices. Indices have been really trending nicely to the downside here. Indices have really been trending that we actually personally trade. Them things has been trending nicely to the downside. Everything else been super choppy though. Super range bound, man. We be murdering. Alright, that should have done. Just hit my stop already. Yeah, it's looking tough, man. Again, we really ended up just playing around, being choppy sidelines, man. If we do close like this in the next couple seconds, man, it's gonna look tough for anybody that's in these shorts. It's gonna be tough for anybody who's in these shorts. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Let's see. Should have been moving already. Yeah, it should have. Sure, this thing should have been dropped, especially once we like close below my triggers. Like, again, if this is how I personally use my triggers, right? Like, if we close below this, like we should have been moving already, right? Like, we wanted that to actually act as like the next resistance now and guide it lower. But we're not doing that, right? So this gonna be a dud for anybody that's in it, I believe. Again, it could come back still. We never know. Markets just could be going sideways, choppy. But yeah, this doesn't look like a dud ski for anybody that's in it. It's looking like a dud ski. Oh no. Let's see what we got here, family. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, that break even pretty much, like $50 profit. Hey, that's better than the loss, bro. $50 profit is better than the loss. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a dud family for anybody that's in that. Again, it could still come back. Hopefully, for those of you guys, for the sake of those y'all that are in it, it could. You know, but these other indices are starting to push. Like now we're about to get the S&P above, you know, my structure point. The Nasdaq is also now starting to push higher here. Hey, man, that 1 minute OB is holding strong. Eric, that 1 minute OB here on the Nasdaq, boy. That was the entry. The 1 minute OB ski. That thing produced a nice little play. Nothing crazy, but a nice little play. Yo, the way these markets are moving though, family, these things look like they might just be super choppy and range bound. Like the US 30 ended up spiking the highs ever so slightly. And we're seeing pushes back down a little bit, but yeah, we just engulfed back up above my trigger line too. We gotta see how this continues to play out here. Yeah, gold is still doing this thing, man. Again, I'm pretty sure gold is just gonna continue to push. We just gotta see if we're gonna be able to clear this 2393 level. If we can clear that 2393, I think we're gonna be. I think this thing is gonna be very good to the upside. We just gotta see if we outbreak this range. From the look of these markets, though, family, like it looks like we really might just remain choppy today. And I'm not surprised it being a Friday neither. But these didn't look like we might be chop. We might be choppity chop today. Choppity chop today. It seems like that's what it seems like. It's about to be choppity chop today. Let's see how this continues to play out though. Yeah, US 30 is now trying to push back down again. This thing is just playing with people's emotions at this point. What's everything else doing? Yeah, the Nasdaq did play out nice. Give a nice move to the upside there. Oh man, done for the day. Yeah, these markets might be super range bound, man. Super choppy today. That's what it seems like. What's Bitcoin doing though? Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin though before we go ahead and wrap up. Bitcoin looks interesting, man. I think I mean, shoot. For the sake of my portfolio, I hope this continues to go higher. But with the halving coming up, I wouldn't be surprised if again we just stay range bound, the halving occur, we sell off, and then we go bullish. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. Let's see. We'll wrap it up. P&L up 3,200. Let's go, bro. The P&L up 3,200. That's nice. There we go. That is very nice. Yeah, that Nasdaq is pushing. That Nasdaq is pushing. On a new 20. Let's see. On a new 20. Let's see. Listen, family, man, I'm going to have to wrap it up off of that. Again, these markets are really looking like they're going to be range bound and choppy today. So I'm chilling. I have no intentions on wanting to continue to trade in these choppy supermarkets. So I'm going to wrap it up. I do got to go ahead and make some moves as usual. You guys know the vibes. But family, I do appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, I will be doing these Friday live streams, so please continue to show up every Friday. In 2 weeks, I will be going full-time Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday probably, right here on YouTube. So definitely make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed just yet, because we are about to go up. As you guys can see, I try to provide as much value as I possibly can, just to do my part, as much as possible, man. But again, I do appreciate y'all for tuning in. Without y'all, it's not possible. So I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you guys gain some type of value today, and I will talk to you guys all a little bit later. All right, family. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. If you guys want to go ahead and join my Discord, all right, if you guys want to join my Discord ski, let me know, and I will get you access to the Discord. In fact, the same website that I sent for my course, you guys can also utilize to go ahead and join my Discord. Right, so let me just send it in the chat real quick, bro. They did this whole thing different. All right, family. If you guys do want to join my Discord, here you go. Right, you guys can go right to there. Obviously, just click on the Discord access for free. All right, obviously you don't got to pay for Discord access. Go ahead and join the Discord access and join the Discord. We are about to start to turn that thing up. It is a fresh Discord, right? A fresh Discord that I just created for everybody in this community on my personal paid level for anybody that has my courses, but also for all you guys here on YouTube. All right, if you guys want to be a part of a community that's going to be super active, you know, providing value, a place that you can go to and, you know, get access to resources, then definitely go ahead and join there. I'll go ahead and approve everybody, and we'll go from there. All right, so family, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy Abel, and we out of here. Have a great rest of y'all day. Let's get it.